Hey guys, I'm Jackie Brubaker, host of the Love You Even More podcast. I'm an author, marriage and family therapist in training, performer, and 2-time Emmy Award winner. Each week, I bring on people from all walks of life to talk to them about their inspiring stories in the fields of self-development, relationships, business, and how you can love yourself even more. For more about me and the podcast, visit us at loveyouevenmore.com. Welcome, Melinda Cea, to the Love You Even More podcast. Melinda is a producer of shows like The Bachelor, and she's interviewed people like the Dali Lama. She is a life coach and a digital marketing expert, and she's a first-time author working on her book, which is amazing, and I'm so excited for that to come out. I've already bought you a card that goes along with a present when your book finally gets published, and it's so cute, and you're going to love it. Had it for like 2 years.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited to have you. She's one of my best friends. And we're going to talk all about failure today because you and I have accomplished a lot. But I think a lot of times people look at people like us and think, oh, they just accomplish everything they want. And they don't think about all the failures that may not get as much publicity as successes. So welcome, Melinda.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is so exciting. This is the first time I've ever been on your podcast.
Which is weird. I was going to ask you, wait, haven't you been on before? Which it just feels odd that you haven't. So welcome.
I think I was a guest along the way from something else, but this is the first time you and I have ever done our own together.
Yes. No, I think I remember now what that was. Well, I think you are a perfect person to come on and talk about this because you're a first-time author. You did a pivot. You're still a producer. Clearly, you pitch shows, you create shows. But because our industry has been a little wonky in the last few years, you've made a real choice to move in a different direction. So maybe let's start there with the fact that the entertainment industry is under duress and kind of what you've had to do.
Yeah. So for us, for producers and crew and everybody, all of this kind of started about 4 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. Well, first it started with COVID, and we thought we were going to get back to work, and then the strikes
came. By the way, 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, right. 2 weeks turned into 2 years.
Right.
And then the strikes happened, and then we thought, okay, the strikes are going to be over and now we're going to all get to work. And then it was like a slashing of budgets and, sending producers and crews overseas. And so I think a lot of us, well, for me, my experience was for 20 years, there was just a plethora of work. I was turning down shows left and right. I was employed year round. It was nonstop. Yeah. I remember there was a point where I was traveling the world so much that I had not been home for about 8 months out of the year.
Oh my God.
And it was constant. It was amazing. It was like, everybody had work. And then now, 20 years later, I think the times are just changing. The way we consume content is changing. The length of content that we're producing is changing in many ways. So with that, the realization of all of that, and funny enough, about 12 years into my career, when I was working on Dancing with the Stars, it sort of started on Bachelor, actually. I had this feeling, and I'll never forget it, and I write about this actually in my book, that something was going to happen.
Ooh.
And there was just this like beckoning in me. And I thought it was, get off of the show, get off of Bachelor. Like, you've been doing this show for too long, which I felt like I had, to be honest. But, years later, I realized that was really a calling to pivot. That I actually wasn't doing what I was meant to be doing. And at that time, I didn't have the awareness to recognize what that feeling was.
Yeah. So
finally, after another almost 9 years, I realized what that was. But that beckoning got stronger and stronger on Dancing with the Stars. And, I thought, again, it's just the content. It's the content that I'm doing that's not right.
Right.
So I got onto a show that was feel good, and we traveled the world, and it was called Operation Change, and it was the best experience, one of them, of my entire career.
Mm-hmm.
And that feeling never came about. So I was like, okay, something is working here, you know? I found the right ingredient, one of them,
Right.
which
Right.
was creating meaningful content,
Right.
right? That felt meaningful to me. But yeah, so I think all of that to say that it's, you know, whether you're pivoting your career or you're starting over, which I don't really believe in starting over. That whole idea, like, I think is odd. We could get into that, but
Right.
I think it's just the idea is just a continuation of evolving.
I
You
like
know,
that.
I don't even necessarily think it's a pivoting or a
Or
failure, if you
failure. Right.
will. Yeah, because I think like I've worked with so many mentors in this industry who really mentored me in terms of finance and, you know, storytelling, and there's so much that I learned. But one of the things that really stuck with me was that failure is the blueprint to success.
Absolutely. Let's talk about what that actually means.
Right.
Because it's a wonderful saying. And it's like, oh, we could read that on a quote and be like, oh, that's true. But what does that actually mean to you?
Yeah. So I think, you know, we try and try and try, right? And then something doesn't work out. And instantly we've been conditioned to think that feels like failure,
Hmm.
right? Your marriage didn't work out, so you failed.
Hmm.
You didn't get the Emmy on this show, so you failed,
Hmm.
or the Oscar, right? In our industry, it's like, if you don't have an Emmy, are you even a good producer? You know
No,
what I mean?
true. Well, for people listening in, when you do work in TV, getting an Emmy is not, it's hard, but it's also not that hard. You can get an
Yeah,
Emmy. You get
right,
a few
right,
Emmys, like I've got two, you've been nominated. Like it's kind of almost like, oh, do you not have one yet? Oh, you'll get one. Just give it some
right,
time.
right.
Because it is kind of just like in any career, these things become normal.
Yeah,
We talked about this earlier today
I know.
about a post I did, and
Oh,
I was talking about how so many artists, and if you're in the creative arts or if you're just creative, it doesn't matter. You make this art, and then you either A, it never sees the light of day, or
yeah,
B, you never make money from it, which is a huge part of what artists want to do is they want to be famous, they want to make money, they want
right.
their art to be everywhere. And then when that doesn't happen, they feel like failures. But
Yeah,
making art for art's sake is truly just about the creative expression of you. And
right.
most artists really just have to create art. So when I hear you talk about, like, I wasn't feeling fulfilled and I was on this great show and it felt good in some ways, but it still wasn't what I was looking for. What were you looking for?
Happiness. You
Mhm.
know, ultimately, I was looking to feel like I was feeling fulfilled.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first recognition when I was on Bachelor, when I felt that feeling of like, this doesn't feel right. I never really had that before.
Mhm.
And we can get into all of that. But I really, you know, once you get into personal development and you do the work and you realize what the feeling actually was,
Mhm.
I was just unfulfilled.
Yeah.
And I, you know, and instead of knowing that that's what it was, I labeled it as, oh, it's this job.
Mhm.
It's this job's fault. That's why I'm feeling unfulfilled. So I'll just go to another show
Yeah.
and then I'll feel better,
Right.
which, you know, is just one band aid to another.
So then
So,
how, in your perspective, how do people change that? How do we find out what makes us really happy? If we want to say, oh, it's just, I don't like what I'm doing here. How can
yeah.
I feel good doing it from a different way?
Yeah, I think for some people it's really easy, right? They know intuitively and they have had this vision since they were a kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I always wanted to be a performer. I always wanted to sing or
Just
act
me.
or write a book.
Literally just me.
Right. Like you knew
Yeah.
from how old that you had a calling to perform.
Yeah.
So for those people, that's amazing, right? You're tapped in from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not that girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to do a lot of work to figure out like what ignited my spirit.
Yeah.
And I think if that's you and you don't know, you don't have that clarity yet, the best thing you can do is admit to yourself that you don't know. You don't know what it is, but you know it ain't this.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that is, right? And just start the journey to figuring it out. And I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to say, okay, well, now I have to figure it out tomorrow. And if it's not this, I have to figure it out with one idea. That has to be the right idea, right? Instead of making it like an exploration, which is really what it is.
Yeah.
And I think if you're not willing to go on that journey, you're not going to get there. You're never going to figure it out, right? Because it's not going to come with one new idea. That idea is going to evolve to the next and the next. But I think what was important for me was when I was on Dancing with the Stars, I'll never forget this moment. So I was that girl. I was the girl, right? Had no clue what I wanted to do. I just wasn't happy. So I'm on Dancing with the Stars. We're on a hiatus, 2-week window. The new season's getting ready to come. And they're like, are you coming back or what? Like you haven't committed yet. And in that window, that 2-week window, I got a call to go and help produce a sizzle. And if you're listening, that's like a presentation of an idea or a show, a pitch of a concept or something. So my friend says, can you come to Vegas? And this family that we know is renting this entire hotel. And Bill Clinton's going to be there and Richard Branson and all these people. And yeah, I don't know what it's really about, but can you just come and help me produce this thing? We're going to try to make a show about this family. I think their dad invented the inner ear hearing aid. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what is this? Okay, whatever. Sounds fun. I'll go.
Yeah.
So I go and I was like literally standing in the doorway of this huge ballroom. Bill Clinton's getting ready to take the stage with Richard Branson to talk about leadership. And I get the call again from Dancing with the Stars. Are you coming back? We need to know. And I had no idea what I was going to do if I said no. But I was like, I want to be in this room, not that room.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I got a shot in this room, but I'm here.
Yeah.
So I just said no. I said, no, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to come back. And I had no job in the lineup next. It was like, so yeah, I just took a leap on a feeling. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes that's all you really know is what feels right and what doesn't. And then you just follow the next feeling and the next feeling. And then had I not done that, I never would have been on the show Operation Change, because that family ended up creating Operation Change, which I was an executive producer of for 5 years, traveling the world, interviewing everybody from the Dali Lama to Clinton and what's his name? Branson and Elton. Yeah. I mean, it was completely changed my life.
And then, so going back to like the idea of like failures helping you find your next step, you do this amazing show for 5 years. You meet so many incredible people and you're fulfilled mostly, correct? But not fully.
Yeah.
Right. So then what happens after that?
So when that show ended, right, I had a little bit of an identity crisis. honestly. And I knew that that felt right. Telling good, meaningful content felt right. Telling human interest stories, traveling the world and talking to people who were really going through things felt right. And then when that didn't get picked up for season 2, I was like, oh my God, am I going to have to go back to like, you know, Love Island somewhere or something? I don't know.
Well, that's kind of how we went. But anyway.
Show. These are all great shows and opportunities, and they pay people's bills and buy them houses, and they're amazing, right?
They are. They're there for a reason, for sure.
They're there for a reason, and there may come a time where I have to do that show, right? Just to a bridge to something. But what happened was on Operation Change, I got a lot of courage. I learned a lot. I built new muscles in terms of skills. We were talking about this earlier, but in a way, for me, it was collecting data, right? It was like, okay, I know I like this and I'm good at that. I want more of that.
Yeah.
And not that. But at the end of it, I still had an identity crisis because I felt like I was only a TV producer. And so for many years, when people introduced me to somebody, they would say, hi, this is my friend, Melinda. She's a TV producer. And my family would introduce me that way. Oh, she's a TV producer.
Yeah.
Here comes the bus. And so I started to think, well, I'm being praised for being a TV producer. So if I'm not a TV producer, then what is my identity?
So not the question.
Right? Who am I if not that? And how will I make money if not by being a TV producer?
Yeah.
So I had to work through a lot of limiting beliefs that, were all around identity.
Right.
And once I got through that, because after Operation Change, I did go on to do other shows, that paid the bills and they were fine.
Right.
But they weren't Operation Change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just had to realize that I was actually more expansive than that one identity.
Absolutely.
So
part of because I remember when we met, you were really like already wanting to start writing a book and you wanted to be a writer. And I feel like that identity was starting to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And finally, during lockdown, essentially, is when you like started to, really like put this together.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that journey because it has definitely been a rough one.
Oh,
it's part of failing to move forward.
Yes.
And I really, while it might sound like, oh, and while the last 20 years had been really great for producing and like moved you so far, it felt like a golden age of reality TV, to be honest. It probably was.
It was.
It really was. And, we're very lucky to have been a part of TV at that time. But now like moving into this totally different identity and starting from scratch, it's not like you went back to college and got like a degree in like literature, anything like that. You were just like, I'm going to start writing a book. And I'm going to just learn everything there is to being an author.
Yeah.
That has got to be very scary and intimidating. And there have been failures along the way. So let's talk about some of those failures and how that's worked for you.
Yeah. So I think when I felt the call to write a book, I was on a trip in Italy by myself, which I never would have taken had I not been on Operation Change, right? And had this newfound confidence and courage. So I went to Italy, and there I was like, inspired action, which I think is the key to everything. I got the idea to write a book. I said I was going to do it. And then lockdown happened, and I thought this is the perfect time. Producer me was like, let's vet this idea. Let's see if we can even do it. Mm-hmm. And once I started that process, I literally felt like I was failing at it every day because I never looked at myself as a writer, right? Mm-hmm. That's, back to the whole identity aspect. Mm-hmm. I didn't think I was smart enough to write a book. Like failed grammar tests in school. In
We all
fact,
did.
yeah, in fact, I had a producer on Bachelor once tell me, you need to write better emails.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, I'm a total loser. Yeah, so I had, all of these criticisms stuck in my head, and I was like, I had to work through that. But so I started that process, and actually, I got my first offer on the book before I ever had an agent from taking one class on how to write a book proposal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started pitching it. I ended up getting an agent, and we got about 45 passes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is horrible. Talk about fail. Every pass, fail.
Yeah.
And I just kept going. I always think about when people say you can't fail if you don't give up. Right?
Oh, I like that.
You can't fail if you don't give up.
Yeah.
And that always stuck with me. So I just was like, let's just keep going. Keep pitching it. We're one yes away from this book being out there. And at the time, I think my producer mentality was, when you pitch shows, you always want like the fast yes, right? Because then that creates momentum. And you're like, we're on a roll. We're going to get a bidding war.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, that's actually not what you want, in terms of the book, in terms of a show, in terms of a partner. Like, you want the right match, not the fast yes. So, I had to just kind of change my perspective in terms of how I was looking at that. And we went out for a year pitching the book, and we got one offer from a publisher who was not the right match. I was like, wait, we have a yes? We have a yes. This book could be out next year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the worst match ever. It's like an arranged marriage or something, that's. So I just said no. And I walked away from a publishing offer.
I think what's very important about this story is that you have 45 no's. You get one yes from the wrong publisher, and you still have the guts to say, no, you're not right for me. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep moving along this very uncharted path. There's no, end in sight at this moment, but I'm going to do it because I believed in myself. And I think, especially when you are bringing on a new identity and you're becoming something that you've never been before, the more you become it, the more you are it,
Yes.
Like, the more you believe, like, no, I am this because I've been doing this and I keep doing this. Like you said, like, you don't give up, you just keep going. And so to say no, because I think so many people would have said yes to the shitty publisher and been like, yay, I did it. I got a publisher. Now my book's coming out. But like, most likely it would have done terribly because it was the wrong publisher. And they probably would have made you change so much of the book that it would have flopped because your essence was probably gone. They're just like, oh, I know what a book will do well to like sell, and let's have you do that with your book. And you would have been like, well, now it's not my book. It's just your book.
Right.
So after you said no, what did you do after that?
I took a year off from trying to pitch the book. I hired my own copy editor. I went out and found my avatar reader, which essentially is your dream reader, the person that you're writing the book for, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I mapped her out. How this girl thinks, what she eats, what she needs, what she desires. I literally gave her a name. Her name was Malia. Because I was like, I'll never forget the M. I got, I got it. So I found my avatar reader. I brought her on. And then her and this editor that I hired, we went through the book. Every single chapter, I rewrote the entire book for a second time with their help. And it was so much better than the first time.
Yeah.
And then I changed the title and redid the entire proposal, got a new agent. This time it was a woman. The first time it was a man. No offense, he was amazing, but
Right. Not the right fit.
not the right fit. So now I have a team of two female agents that are my champions. And they are taking the book out. And right now we're out to 39 publishers.
Ah, see, I think
So,
the story is so important to remember that, like, it's about getting the no's, it's about getting the failures, it's about doubting yourself so that you can
yeah.
just be like, it's very humbling to be rejected, especially by yourself too, when you're just self-doubting so much. It's a very humbling experience, which makes, like, you can go one of two ways. You can go towards like you can go towards the avenue of like, well, I just suck. I'm just going to give up. Like this wasn't for me. I tried. It's just not for me. Or you can be like, no, you know what? I can be smarter about this. I can change. I can evolve. I can keep learning and be humble about knowing that I don't know everything. And I think, there's a really great book. I don't know if you've read this one, but Stephen King wrote a book called On Writing. And he just talks about, you're on mute. Oh, you're not. Okay. He talks about how his writing process is and how he even became a writer and all of his rejections. And it's a really fascinating book because he's been so successful. He's written so many books that you can't possibly know all of them unless you're like a super fan. But,
Hundreds.
so many.
Yeah.
And I mean, as you know, too, like I wrote a book and put it out during the pandemic, and that
Yeah.
book was written twice, just like yours. I had multiple different agents, and I decided to self-publish, which was a personal choice. I was like, I want to just do this. It feels right. It feels important. And had I not done it at that time, I would not have the podcast. It was because of the book that I have the podcast. And now the podcast is its own entity. So the way that everything works and the way that your intuition works, like you're describing, is so important for like the life of what you're creating. So you have your book out to 39 publishers?
39. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have no idea what's going to happen. And now, I kind of think about failure like do it sooner, do it faster, fail faster. Because the faster you fail, right? Just go like crazy and fail every which way.
Yeah.
Because the faster you fail, the quicker you're going to succeed, really. And I
It's
think
true.
it is. I
Yeah.
mean, so I'm like, bring on all the no's. If you're not the right match, no, bye, great, thanks.
Right. It's
Let's
funny.
keep it moving.
Because when you're saying this, it just reminds me so much of dating. It's like, let's just find out if we're the right match quickly. And then if it's
Yes.
not, goodbye. Next.
Bye. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, what do you think what some of your biggest failures would be?
I love it. She just turns back into producer mode.
Perceived, I know. Well, I'm just more curious, like perceived failure, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think failure is always kind of like hidden within the successes.
Yeah.
Because people see the successes, but they don't see all the failures beneath that pedestal of success. So, like, for instance, with my music career, I put out 2 albums. I was signed to a publisher. I had, songs on TV shows. Like, I wrote for other artists, but I never ever felt that I got to the level of it that made me, quote, professional, which is ridiculous because I was. But in my head, it wasn't enough. Like, I wasn't making my full-time income from this. So it didn't feel like it was a job. It felt like a hobby. In fact, I actually had a TV supervisor say that to me once. He's like, well, this is just a hobby. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill you. I was like, okay, Mr. Insecure, you thought we were on a date, but we weren't. And yes,
Yeah.
thanks. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was tough because my like second album had come out and it was a really good album. And it was great, but I was done. Like I had hit my mark of like, it's time to move on. I don't want to do this anymore. I did it for like 12 years and it was just a very long road and I wanted to move forward into something else. And so when I left, I remember, this was partially what my novel was about, right? Like when do you go? How do you know when to go? How do you know when to stay? And in something that you love, whether it's a romantic relationship or a career. And so there is a part of me that could be like, oh, I failed at music as a career. But there's also another part of me that's like, no, I was very successful at the same time. So it's sort of like, to me, failure is very interwoven into your perspective of failure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think you nailed it when you said if you're not making money from it, then you're not winning at, you're not successful at it, right?
Right.
It's not, which is so just outdated that I think
Yeah.
that entire belief came from four generations and however many before that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So now I think there's more value being put on these quote unquote hobbies,
Mm-hmm.
right? That are passions for
Mm-hmm.
a reason, because the people I believe that are brave enough to follow the passion, whatever
Mm-hmm.
that is, I don't even care if it's fishing,
Mm-hmm.
like fishing, wallpapering, whatever. You know what I mean? Follow it.
Yeah.
Those people are the ones that are actually going to find real success,
Right.
and real confidence and real courage. And,
Right.
I think from when we're younger, I can't believe I'm saying that.
We're
So
always younger.
do
Younger.
I sound like my mom or something? She's gonna laugh if she hears this. But yeah, I think we're taught to follow the money,
Yeah. Yep.
right? Follow the money. And I think, okay, there is some truth to that, right? In a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. It's a great way to build a little bit of a foundation or a nest egg. But if you only follow the money for forever, right? And
Right.
you never actually follow a calling,
Yeah.
how many years go by of time wasted, talent wasted?
And how, I think too, we kind of get in our heads about having this, passion turn into something huge. Like it has to be huge in order to be successful, or you have to make millions of dollars from it. I mean, my girlfriend is a stay-at-home mom. She loves to bake sourdough bread. That's like her jam. She is so good at it. And she gets so much joy baking bread every day for her family that now in her little like neighborhood, she lives up in Big Bear. People are literally requesting her sourdough breads and she's painting on, I mean, they're beautiful works of art and she's making donuts and muffin and all of this stuff. And she's created a little business based off of her passion. And now she is making money. And that's the thing. Like, if you love what you do and you're doing it well and you're always trying to be better and like keep moving forward, the money will find you. That is for sure. If you are in alignment with what you are passionate about, the money will find you. I feel very strongly that passions that are too coerced to be something trending or to be something that they're not, like, oh, I want to be just like Ariana Grande. Let me be just like Ariana Grande. You're never ever going to make it because you're not being you. You're trying to be someone who's already existing. We don't need another Ariana. We just need another you. We need a
Yeah.
you. So I really feel like, anyone who's listening to this and like thinking, oh, these two girls have like done all this stuff. I mean, honestly, it's because we failed at multiple different things or one thing and keep failing to try to move forward. It's the learning and the failures that give us the platform to keep moving forward and to get to the like, oh, this is how I should do it. Because I mean, I look at where I'm moving in my future with being a therapist and a performer and how these are going to merge together. And they've already merged together. And I just keep seeing what you said was so perfect at the very beginning. It's really just building upon what you already do
Mm-hmm.
that builds it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it's all in service of whatever your actual destiny is,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's all in service of that. So I would never look back now and think, oh my God, my career as a TV producer, specifically in reality TV, was a total fail or
Mm-hmm.
a waste, because it was absolutely not. It was a bridge to everything else.
Yeah.
And all of those skills that I learned transferred to everything I'm doing now, right? Like, and just in terms of leadership and time management and execution of things, it all transfers.
Yeah. It
So I
really
think,
does.
that's part of this evolution, the evolution of you, right?
Yeah. I love that. What is something, maybe this could even just be funny. What is one of your funniest failures?
Oh my God, my funniest failures. Jeez. I mean, well, most of my book is about love.
Mm-hmm.
I have failed a lot in love. I'm talking like maybe one of my best friends and I joke, I may have had 20 plus relationships. Failed. One would think. I actually, my family used to make fun of me for this. They used to be like, oh, she's bringing home somebody new again.
Yeah.
Because none of my relationships lasted.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what that's about, right? We know that's all about the self-worth, but I thought I just suck at relationships.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I broke up with somebody one time because he didn't wear socks, and he rolled a bag. One of my favorite places to shop is Anthropology. You know this story, I think.
This is so good.
So the store Anthropology, for anyone listening, when you buy something there, they give you a bag and it's super cute. And it's like a regift bag, right? You save it and you regift it. It's that cute.
Yeah.
So we were on a date and we had some downtime before it was time for our dinner reservation. We went into Anthropology. I bought something. He offered to carry the bag, and I thought that was so nice until he rolled it up like a burrito, literally like rolled up the burrito and stuck the bag under his arm and carried it like a freaking football.
Ew.
Ew. Yes. I was like, what are you doing? This is not going to work out. So not only do you not wear socks, but you also just wrinkled my Anthropology bag. I must break up with you.
He didn't.
Clearly a red flag.
Yeah. Oh, clearly.
So, yeah. I mean, I think my most epic fails have always been in love, for sure.
Me too.
So there's that.
We should do another episode on our awful relationships and what we've learned from them, the failures of relationships. I think we should do it.
I'm in. Let's do it. We got a lot.
All right. Well, let me ask you one last question. What is a parting thought that you would like to give people when they are done listening to this episode and need just a little bit more Melinda of a hit? What is a
little bit more Melinda of a hit? Oh my gosh. I think the best advice that I would give anybody, I don't care where you're at in your life or what challenge you're facing, is not to wait. Like, be so disgusted with waiting. There's 3 W's that I really get irritated by: waiting, worrying, and wishing.
Oof.
And until you get so disgusted by waiting for something to happen to you, by wishing something is going to happen to you, and so disgusted with worrying about whatever's not happening to you or for you, you are stuck. Period, full stop. Your life is stuck. So my biggest piece of advice would just be to stop with all three of those W's. Stop waiting, stop worrying, and stop wishing, and just go. Take imperfect, messy action and fail as fast as you can, because that's the only way things get better. And until you have the courage to do that, nothing changes. And you don't grow, you don't evolve. So yeah, get disgusted with the three W's.
I love that. That is a perfect ending. I thank you so much for all of your wisdom and all of your things that are coming out. Go follow her. Her links will be in the bio, in the show notes. Sorry. And I'm so excited for your future and everything that's happening.
Thank you so much. I'm so lucky to have a friend like you.
Oh, same, girl. Same. All right, my dear. I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye. Thank you.